NFTs, what are they? They've soared in popularity and there's some hype around them. Momint is the marketplace for NFTs that sold the Mandela item, and we're joined by the CEO, Ahren Posthumus. Thank you for being with us, Mr. Posthumus. So what is a non-fungible token or NFT? Let's start there. Please unmute yourself, Mr. Posthumus.
Classic 21st century.
Okay, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I think the easiest way for people to understand maybe not what an NFT is, but first of all, why we even need them. And we've always been able to have original items of scarcity and value in the world, like the Mona Lisa, which is an absolute unique piece of art. But in the digital space, we've never been able to do that. And for the first time in history, we can actually do that with this underlying technology called NFTs. NFTs allow us to have these unique items, guaranteed unique with scarcity, where digital creators and digital creations can actually be shared and have scarcity and value. I think Mandela's arrest warrant is a great use case for the technology, because what it's done is it's allowed us to bring our heritage and our history back to the forefront and allow people to re-engage with the content of this, and to support Lily's Leaf Museum, which has been badly affected by COVID and a lack of tourism, and bring these museum items into the virtual world, into the metaverse, where people can once again, no matter where they are in the world, they can learn about that history, they can look at the heritage items, and they can engage with the content.
Okay, and we'll talk about Lily's Leaf shortly, but firstly, what does unique mean? Because you can't take this art or this artifact and hang it up on your wall. It's something digital. Can you see it on your computer? If you have people around for a dinner party, do you have to come and say, look at what I just bought for 2 million rand, and show them on your computer?
Yeah. Yeah, so 100%. And I think we need to change the word of you have to show them there with you are able to, right? So if you had a piece on your wall and you went on holiday, you wouldn't be able to take that with you. But if you have a digital asset, you can always take it with you anywhere and everywhere. You can cast this item into augmented reality, in fact, so you can actually view it in the real world, mixing digital and virtual. You can put this in a virtual museum. You could potentially even charge for attendance and charge people to come in and view the document in a virtual setting. And you can cast this on your TV, your cell phone, any digital device. So like I say, if you happen to be out and about, it's much easier to show off your possession, and it's verifiably yours as well.
So looking at Madiba's arrest warrant, what happens to the original now?
Sure. So the original will stay at Lily's Leaf Museum for preservation purposes, and the certified copy of the NFT will now be owned by this buyer, and he gets a number of other benefits that come along with the token.
Do you know the history of this arrest warrant, how it changed hands? Tell us a bit about the story, and are you able to tell us who the buyer is and their interest in this arrest warrant?
Yeah, so the history of the document is quite interesting. So as you mentioned, Nelson Mandela was issued the warrant of arrest. He was actually aided by Lily's Leaf Museum in escaping for the first time in Johannesburg, and he was later caught in KwaZulu-Natal. And the document was given to Lily's Leaf Museum because of their role that they played in the fight against apartheid back in 2004 by ABSA. So ABSA actually had acquired the document and they donated it to Lily's Leaf Museum. And like we said, that will now stay at the museum. They have the funding that they need to preserve that document, as well as a host of the other artifacts that they have in their archives, which were all going to be lost if the sale had not come to fruition.
Yeah, so last year the museum apparently received around 750 for an auction of a pen gun owned by Oliver Tambo. Now this boon of nearly 2 million, and it must be a game changer, because we've heard about Lily's Leaf Museum, amongst others in South Africa, being dilapidated, not able to attract visitors. Does this change everything?
Absolutely. I think this does two incredible things for us as a continent in Africa. One of them is to show the world that we are not standing idle. We are innovating at a rapid pace, perhaps even faster than the rest of the world. This has come from a platform that is pioneering in of itself. and is ahead of the game ahead of many other Silicon Valley companies. In fact, it also shows that there is immense value in our heritage and in our history. And I think, we tend to be quite critical, which is often a good thing in terms of improving ourselves. But it's good to sometimes remember that we have an immensely rich, vibrant and meaningful history in our country, and that should be celebrated.
Yeah. And how vibrant is this around the world? Apparently NFT art is commanding millions of dollars. I think you've mentioned one for 4.5 million rand. If you do the conversion, it's called Bored Apes Yacht Club. What is that, and who's getting involved and showing their friends what they've bought on their computer? Like you said, let's say they are able to do that.
Sure. So I just want to make one thing clear, and maybe it's even more shocking, is that we didn't actually sell the Bored Ape because it was too little money. The seller was not willing to part with it for 4.2 million rand. There's an immense amount of value in these assets. For the Bored Ape Yacht Club, it's because of the benefits that the token gives you. So it's not just in the world, Eminem, Jimmy Kimmel, the list goes on, and you can now speak to these people in this group. They also give you airdrops of cryptocurrency and other things. So it's all about the benefits that the token gives you. For any of the viewers out there, I just want to stress, just because something is an NFT does not mean it necessarily has value. You still need to look for what the underlying value of that token really is.
Yeah, thanks, because this is the new investment. Of course, people looking at NFTs, thanks for that warning and explaining what it is in the first place, talking NFTs. And of course, this is great news for Lily's Leaf Museum that really has been in the news because it hasn't been able to raise funds. That was the CEO of Momint, Ahren Posthumus.